watching them on film?
I think they're really good. They're really, really athletic. They played outstanding in their last game against Cal. Obviously, the defense switched from when Coach Kiffin took over and Pete left. So I think it's a matter of just getting used to the system that, his dad Monty introduced to him. So, but the team that played against Cal is pretty good. I think extremely athletic. They've got guys everywhere that can run around and make plays. So,
just a quick follow-up there. Cal's offense is much different than yours. Do you see that as a factor one way or another? Or?
No, I mean, it's about how hard they played and what their athleticism that showed up on tape. You see Harris picking off a screen pass and running down the sideline, for a 300-pound guy, pretty nimble, got great hands. I think that's the biggest challenge for us. You go through there too deep, and I keep hearing that USC is down, and they're too deep. Out of their 44 players, they have 12 five-star recruits and 26 four-star recruits. I don't know if there's anybody in the country that has that. So when I keep hearing that USC is down in talent, we have 0 five-star recruits in our top 44, and we have 11 four-star recruits. So, those rankings, so AJ?
They're perfect.
They're perfect. Right there. They don't make mistakes. It's right. I mean, it's right there in black and white. So, they got talent. They're the most talented team in the Pac-10, I'll tell you that.
Coach, in a general sense, what will we expect to see out of that USC defense on Saturday?
I think you're going to see a lot of really good athletes flying around. It'll be interesting to see how they defend us. Is their scheme going to change slightly? Obviously, we're a little bit different than Cal, but, you got Devon Kennard, you got Gallipo, you got guys that can run around. The young corner, Roby, is making a lot of really good plays. He's a true freshman. TJ McDonald's a very, very good football player. Their front four with Jarrell Casey and Armand Onstead. They got some players that can run around and make plays, so it's going to be a real challenge for us.
Rob?
Last week, talking about the pistol that UCLA did, everything kind of went back to Nevada. From the schematic sense, the Tampa 2 and what Monty Kiffin teaches, is it another system that sort of all funnels back there, that what he taught kind of new and unique enough that it influenced a lot of people, obviously?
I think it has. When there's a big tree from that Tampa 2 system, from Coach Dungy to Lovie Smith to Monty to a lot of different guys that did that. But, I think he's changed slightly. He's not all Tampa 2 now, I think, because the college game is slightly different than the professional game. Obviously with the quarterback being able to run. So, it's a little bit different. But I think that they're all kind of from the same school.
Rick?
Before as you guys were coming out of the tunnel last Thursday night, I thought your kids were just ready to play. They're bouncing off the walls. Are you worried about being overamped for this game? And if so, what will you do to temper that?
I'm not worried about being overamped, so I won't temper that. I think our guys have the right mindset in every game we've played so far this year. So,
AJ?
Coach, what does USC do different this year under Coach Kiffin than they did necessarily last year?
Obviously their scheme's different on defense. Because Monty's running the defense now and Pete's not there. So offensively, they're a little bit different. They're a little bit more different than what USC has been in the past. They run some wildcat, with Mark Tyler playing quarterback and doing some different things and splitting Barkley out at receiver. They got a little bit more trick plays in their offense, I think, than what USC had run before. And I don't know if that's his influence from when he was with the Raiders or Tennessee, but I think they kind of tax you a little bit differently from an offensive standpoint too. But it still comes down to stopping Allen Bradford and those really, really good receivers. So,
John?
Chip, for the past couple weeks, they've been trying to bone up on your tempo, just trying to get up to speed. Are you playing faster than ever now? And what's the fastest drive that you guys have had this year? Does one stand out?
Statistically, I don't know. I know that one of the fastest drives we had this year was with our twos when they went in against UCLA, and it was 5 plays, and it was Nate 3 times and Remine twice for a touchdown, and that seemed really fast to us. But, we're playing at a pretty good clip now. I think it's because our players have a really good understanding of what we're trying to do. We just try to eliminate that time between plays, and then just go play. And have they ramped it up? I've read reports about that, but I really don't know what they're doing to ramp it up. So,
I think 14 seconds, real quick. It's in the release. Anyway.
Thanks, Dave. That was pretty quick by you.
I know, unusual.
And he's picked this.
Any other questions here? Okay, we're going to go to the phones. Please press *1 on your telephone keypad to ask a question.
Our first question is from the line of Darren Everson from the Wall Street Journal.
Hi, Coach. Just to continue on the issue of just tempo, how fast you guys play. Has that always been a part of your philosophy going back to when you were a coordinator and even before you got to Oregon?
No, it's kind of evolved. I was here for 2 years as a coordinator in 07 and 08, and we didn't play this fast. That's one of the things when I took over as a head coach. We changed our terminology so that we could play faster. But we're actually probably playing a little bit faster now than we did last year. But I think it's our players' second year in the system, and they've got a pretty good grasp of what we're trying to do. So it's evolved.
And just for the lay person, what is the purpose of it? I mean, is it just a matter of trying to wear out the defense or get them discombobulated?
It's just for television. I don't think people like people who huddle. So we're just trying to appease the crowd.
But seriously, though, I mean, have you sort of seen over your time as a coach just that that if you play at a higher pace, that you can really wear down the opponent that way?
Yeah, I think during the course of this season, there's been games where we've worn our opponents down with our pace, but it really goes back to not what we're doing pace-wise, but can our players handle it by the tempo we practice at? So, it's just an extension of how we practice.
Any more questions, Angelia?
There are no further audio questions.
Okay, we'll come back to questions from here, and to correct my earlier mistake, 5 seconds. The quickest drive, twice. Rob.
Out of curiosity, I mean, is the tempo and the spread option kind of married? I mean, if your personnel was best suited to play 3 tight ends and a fullback, could you still use your tempo the same way to?
Yeah, I don't think it's married to the system that you run. I think you could play up tempo no matter what you do. I mean, you watch Peyton Manning. They're not running any option, but they played as fast in the NFL in terms of him being able to get their plays in and the speed that they want to play at. So it's not married to a system. No, it's just I think it fits with our guys right now in this group, and they understand the benefits of getting lined up fast and getting plays off. And, the byproduct is as the play caller, you can call a lot of really bad plays, and people forget about them real quickly because we're on to the next one.
AJ?
Coach, your play call signs on last game seem to kind of distract the announcers a little bit. What's going on with your signs? Seems like they've changed some.
They haven't. They're the same signs. They've been that way for a while, so I don't know that it distracted. There's a system to it, and there are actually plays on there, and each one's a package, and depends on if we go to the board or don't go to the board. It's just another way to play fast. So, the analogy I can give you is if you go to McDonald's and order number 2, that's all you have to say, and you get a quarter pounder and a drink and fries, and you just say number 2. So if we send them to the board, one picture can mean the formation, the play, and the snap count. That's all it is. Just another way to play faster. So.
Yeah. Do you have a preference between fight on or conquest? If so, what?
No, it's just when we played Tennessee, if there's a song that's a prevalent song that you're going to hear in the opposing stadium, we're just trying to get our players familiar with it. So we played Rocky Top at the Tennessee game, and if we were to play Michigan, we'd be playing Hail to the Victors. So it's just something when you're going to an opposing stadium so that your players are prepared to hear that. So.
But you don't have a personal favorite between the two songs?
Between those two, no. Our goal is hopefully we don't hear them very much, but they've got a big tradition of playing them for a lot. So.
Anywhere in particular you got those ideas for the ESPN guys' signs?
It's just different names. So, I mean, I can't tell you exactly what they stand for, but there's reasons behind everything we're doing. So that may tell us that it's one package or another package. So it's really, that's how it's all tied in together.
Steve?
Coach, from your experience, what does them having a bye in those extra days, how much of an advantage does that give them?